Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. Right now, I am joined by Captain Phil Kirk here of the Park City Police Department to talk about a little scam and fraudulent activity that's kind of been going on around the city. If you've received a call with the police department's phone number asking for money, chances are, or 100% chances, that it's not a real phone call. So do not panic and do not give money to these people. And the first thing to do is call the police department. Captain Kirk, how are you doing today?
Very good.
Excellent. Thanks for coming in. So let's explain a little bit about this for people who've never maybe had it happen to them. I had this happen to me last year. I got cold called and they were pretending to be the IRS, and they asked for upwards of $5,000. And unfortunately, some people have fallen for this and have actually paid money. And there's nothing local authorities can do about it, because most of the time these callers are calling from overseas and they have a way of kind of patching in these phone numbers to make it look authentic.
Yeah, unfortunately they do, and that makes it even more deceptive to the person who's getting that phone call. I would tell you that the IRS really doesn't handle business that way. So if you get such a phone call, probably the best thing to do is hang up, because not only are they trying to get your money, but they're trying to get your identity so that they can steal your identity and use that to, get into your bank accounts and things like that. So, unfortunately, they've been able to, use our phone number as a source of their call, so it appears to be legitimate to some people, to many people, but it isn't legitimate, and that's what we're trying to warn the public.
And the first thing you can really do is, if you have even the slightest suspicion, is to call in to the actual police department and just say, hey, I just received a call from you guys, and you guys can clear that up almost immediately and say, hey, that wasn't us. Or even if it was an official call and it seems a little weird, it's okay to call back to the police department and say, this just doesn't seem right to me. Yeah,
that's another good suggestion, to verify with the local police department or whatever department supposedly they're calling from. And you'll find that, no, it's not something from the IRS. It's some kind of a scam that they're running again. And again, don't give any kind of information to the call. Probably best that you hang up. There is a 800 number through the IRS that you can call, and they'll have an investigative team that looks into these too.
Looks into the numbers that you can provide a number to them, right?
Yes.
Or to the call. Is there a way that you can block these calls from happening? I don't think there is there?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one, but if you could, that would be a good way to go too. But yeah, we're getting quite a few calls, especially this time of the year, because tax season is coming to an end. So that's kind of ramping up. People are a little nervous about it anyway, and they might owe some taxes and think, oh, the IRS is really being aggressive about pursuing the money that's owed to them, but that's not the case.
Yeah, the IRS will never ever contact you over phone. They will always send you a letter, and official letterhead will be presented to you through your mailbox, and they'll never contact you through email or through phone. They say that explicitly on the IRS website if you go there. They have a lot of tips on this as well about what keywords to listen for to know that if it's a scam and stuff like that. So definitely recommend going to the IRS website to check that out as well. Are there anything else that community members can do to kind of help curb this situation, or is it just kind of stay aware and stay alert and avoid it at all costs?
I think all those things that you said, and let their family members know too. They particularly prey on older people that they're not familiar with maybe how things work these days, and so they're confused sometimes, and they seem to be a lot more easy victims of this type of crime.
And unfortunately, there have been, and I remember last year, a couple cases reported of elderly people unfortunately falling victim to this scam and losing upwards of a couple $1,000s. And it's money that unfortunately you cannot get back, because a lot of the time, like I said, these places are calling from overseas, and there's no jurisdiction here that can persecute or that can basically prosecute that at all. So that's big, that's major. The other thing about that as well is the intimidation factor when they call. I remember when they called me, it was a very aggressive call. So know that a police department or IRS would never call you that aggressively and basically shake you down for money. So if you feel that it's wrong, chances are that it's a scam.
Absolutely, and like you said, I've had friends call me about this, and they're really upset about it, because these callers are very aggressive, and it really can ruin your day hearing that kind of a phone call and that kind of a message and not sure whether it is or not. And so we do want to reassure people that it's those are scams, and
Okay.
That's not going to happen through the IRS. And like you say, they can either call the IRS or call the local police department.
Excellent. Captain Kirk, thank you
All
so
right.
much for
Thank
coming
you
in.
for having us
Appreciate
on.
it. Thanks for
Okay.
serving the community and everything. We'll be right back here on the Mountain Morning Show as we continue with this first hour. As mentioned, be sure and go to the IRS website or call in here to the local police department, Park City Police Department, if you have any questions or concern regarding this scam that's happening right now, especially during tax season. I'm sure it'll pick up as the weeks continue on and we get closer to that April 15th deadline. We'll be right back here on the Mountain Morning Show right after this break.